AJ?
What's up, Junior? You staying out of trouble?
Yeah.
Good. Keep it up. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and it's because I'm a short motherfucker. We're talking about mastering short punches in boxing. There's a whole bunch of tutorials out there about long-range fighters, how to use the jab to get distance. It's all about long range. But when it comes down to it, everybody thinks that short punches is just an easy thing to do. It doesn't have to be practiced as much as long-range punches. You'd be completely wrong. Short-range punches are a demon of their own. And I'm going to use the famous example, Mike Tyson. He was the best at using short punches. So now, let's kind of break down why you would use short punches. And I know this kind of sounds crazy, but I just want to cover every single base here. So short punches, right? Let's make it obvious. You don't want to try short punches from a long range. Short punches have a different way of using your body to get more power. So let's, for clarity's sake, short punches are for when you're close to your target. Long range punches for when you're far away. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm going to say it. Also, short range punches, this doesn't have to be if you're an infighter, if you're peekaboo style. This can be for long range fighters too, for lankier people. Short punches, this will actually benefit you a lot more if you're a longer guy because you're going to be able to use those long limbs and actually generate power by not using your arms, but by your body. Alright, so let's actually get into this. I know y'all probably got fucking blue balls by now, but short punches, it's not just close range power punches. That's not what it's about, right? Those punches look good, but that's not my technique. What I'm doing here is I'm just doing regular punches. I'm not adding the body mechanics that I would if it's short punches. So right, let's go straight close to the bag. Those were all short punches, but there's one thing wrong with it, and hopefully you guys could catch it. I'm not using my body. With short punches, everybody gets in the habit of just using their arms. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with arm punching as long as you know when you're supposed to use it. Here, whenever you're close, using your arms, it's way too much strain on your body. And you're losing out on a lot of power because you're just using these muscles in your arms. Whenever you're close to your opponent, don't arm punch. I want you to think your whole entire side of your body. If you're punching with the right, use the entire right side of your body. If it's left, use the entire left side. Now, this doesn't mean swing the fuck out of the ring. What I mean by this is use your whole body. Instead of an arm punch, I want you to use your hip. I want you to pop that out. I want you to move your foot while you're doing it. Pop it out. Practice that real quick. Put your foot down and pop this hip out. It might look kind of fruity, but this is going to get you good body mechanics to throwing those punches. And why wouldn't you want to do this? Perfect question for the difference between short punches and long punches. Why would I not want to use as much of my body if I'm far away? Because you can see it coming. Why I say you should use your whole body whenever you're close is because they can't react to these little micro movements now. Whenever you're at long range, you don't want to be throwing every punch with your whole entire body. There's a whole different system for that. Whenever you do, you're showing your cards. Immediately the second I do this, before the punch even comes, a good fighter, an experienced fighter, will see that punch coming. However, when you're close, you can't see anymore. So now, instead of just arm punching and using all my energy like this, I'm going to use my body. You might be thinking, well, AJ, I'm already doing that, I got another trick for you. A lot of people, they overcomplicate this. When I say short punches, I mean the shortest distance from your fist to the target. That doesn't mean like get more power by moving this way with a jab. Whenever you're doing short punches, I want you to think right there, right there, right there on the target. Another thing that people get overcomplicated whenever they're trying short punches is they'll do long hooks or uppercuts and they're trying to get more power into it. and they end up just looping around. They make extra work of themselves because they don't think about short punches. They're just thinking about getting power punches. Short punches will give you power. So I want you to think the closest distance from your fist to your target. It's going to have a little bit less power, but because of what we talked about earlier with using your body, you're going to have that power. You're going to gain it back. So instead of, like, say I want to put power in a hook. So instead of going straight to the target, I kind of loop around like that, right? Instead of a short punch, that's a long punch, right? And I'm going to square up to you so you can see this easier. Short punch, long punch. If I'm further away from my opponent, people will use a longer distance to get around. You don't have to, you can compensate if you miss, right? If I'm going longer, I have more options. I can go down, I can go up, I can adjust to where they're going to move. Meanwhile, if it's a short punch, this is why people don't do it. If it's a short punch, I'm going directly to the target because instead of guessing where they're going to go, I'm already close enough to know that they can't get away from it. So that's the difference between a short punch and a long punch. Long punches, I don't want you to think about if you miss your opponent. If you're this close and you're missing your opponent, stop using short punches. You need to go right back to the basics. So, right, instead of long, powerful punches, I want you to think short, powerful punches. Doesn't have as much power. Right? That's a short one. That's a long one. And this doesn't only go with the left side. This goes with the right side. Whichever punch, just make sure it's close to the target, right? So the next tip that I have for short punches is another one of Mike Tyson's signature moves. It's the guard. A lot of people don't think about their guard and how it affects their power. If you have, I want you to imagine this. Hold out a weight this far away from your body. It's going to hurt because it's further away. Now hold those weights closer to your body. Everything is tightly coiled. You have more strength whenever you're closer. You don't have as much strength whenever you're further away. This goes for kicks too. The further you are away from your body, the further away your limbs are, the less power you're going to generate. Now if I put those closer together, the more control I have, the more power I will have, right? So whenever you're doing short punches, I don't want you to have a lazy guard. This guard needs to be tight. It needs to be coiled. It needs to be ready to strike like a snake. I want you thinking milliseconds. Don't be lazy. Don't have your hands down here. Don't have no long guard. If you're doing short punches, I want you to get in close and keep this tightly coiled. Don't try to get away. Don't try to push them away. Whenever you get in close, keep this up and then keep them up. Whenever you're done with your combo, whatever you're doing, put them back up, right? Get some distance if you need to, but most of the time I would recommend you to stay in close, but that's another video I'm going to post sometime. I have no clue. But anyway, short punches. So let's break down what we got so far. We got get in close first before you try short punches. We got use your entire side of your body whenever you're punching. We got keep a short distance. I know that one's the most simple one. Keep a short distance from your fist to your target. And the last one is to stay tightly coiled. Doesn't matter what kind of guard it is, even if it's a long guard, right? I want you to keep this long guard a little bit tighter if you're in close. I know that sounds weird, close long guard, but you'd be surprised at positions that you get into whenever you're delivering short punches, right? So whatever your guard is, I want it to be tight whenever you're close. Whenever you're far away, that's whenever this gets relaxed, right? Now watch my guard transition whenever I get in close, right? You get in closer and you get closer to your face. So I'm walking towards you. We're within punching range now. I'm tightly coiled. I'm ready. I'm moving my head. Another thing, just led perfectly into this, is moving your head, right? The boxing, you don't want to stay static. You don't want to stay in this position just like this. I want you to be moving your head, and I want you to think like predatory. I want you to be looking for places that you can attack your opponent. Not only slipping punches, I want you to think, when I go here, that's the shortest distance. Whenever I slip here, that's the shortest distance. This is what I mean by moving your head, and I want you to be thinking. Think about yourself as like a jaguar, or a cheetah, or a tiger, or whatever the fuck, whatever fantasy you want to put yourself into. If you want to be a goddamn grasshopper, do it. Whatever helps you visualize this, right? Whenever you are in this mid-range, you're not far away, you're at mid-range, and you're not at close range yet, I want you to be moving your head. Whenever you move your head and you're at this mid-range, you can find little holes in their game and then actually use those short punches, right? So, I think that's about all the tips that I got for today on short punches. And if you guys want a part 2 on this video, let me know. And I think I should make a long range punch tutorial now before I make another short range. Really, guy? Anyway, guys, let's redo this shit. Thank you all for... Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. If you have any other ideas of a video that you want me to make, if you need any help with something to break down, let me know. We're going to be doing another video on short punches eventually. But first, I want to do a long range tutorial as well. I hope this helped you out, guys. And yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. Later.